Hey everybody, I know it's been a while since my last video. I've been super busy with work, training, and a bunch of stuff. But I wanted to come back and do a video on a topic I get asked a lot about in my personal life. And that is, what is the state of the Special Forces Regiment actually like now? Okay, there's been a lot of things that have happened in the last few years that have affected it. And, you know, with all transparency, I've been retired for about 6-ish months at this point, so this isn't the most up to date, but you know, that's not that long ago. And also, I have a ton of buddies and teammates that are still active, still in the regiment, and I talk to all the time about things that are happening, okay? Overall, you know, is it good, bad, neutral? It's bad. Most of it's all bad, right? Just like the military, things are not good. Which is to be expected with the current administration that we have in place, right? So that's no surprise, but you know, there's a lot of things that have contributed to, I want to say, poor morale in the Special Forces community, and we'll talk about those, right? So number one is it's Peacetime Army, peacetime military, okay? The reality is, and people don't like to hear this, they get uncomfortable about it, but 99% of people that go to Special Forces or want to make it into Special Forces go there because they want to go to war. They want to go to combat. They want to go fight. That's what we do, okay? That's the ultimate goal. That's gone. So you've essentially taken away the number one purpose of the warfighter, and that's to go fight war, okay? The problem with that is the military and leadership, when there is no war, likes to fill that void with stuff that makes everybody miserable. A lot of that void is being filled with DEI and, you know, leftist woke agenda shit that they're trying to push into the unit, into the military. You know, it's been something we haven't really dealt with on the SF side of things as much, but now people got a lot of time on their hands, right? Especially people in charge, people in power. So there's big push in that, and of course that, you know, nobody that's in the special operations community, 99%, nobody agrees with any of that. So that's just another reason why guys just don't want to be in anymore, okay? Retention, we'll talk retention, right? The numbers, okay? Even when I was in, really bad, guys. We were shutting down entire ODAs because we didn't have the manning. 7, 8-man teams across the entire regiment because everybody's getting out. Everyone I know, including myself, either retired, has gotten out, or is hanging on for dear life because they're at 16, 17, 18 years and they're just trying to get to 20 and retire. I know very few of my teammates, friends, and people that are just enthralled with the job still. I would say overwhelmingly, resoundingly, every single one of my teammates, everybody I know, they are not happy about being in the military or in the regiment right now. Bunch of different reasons. We've talked about some of them already. A huge one, of course, is the botched withdrawal of Afghanistan, okay? We spent last 2 decades in Special Forces almost exclusively in the last 10 years fighting that war, okay? We built relationships over 20 years with interpreters, our counterparts, and I had, you know, people I've worked with that have been slaughtered and so have their families because of that. People that risked their lives to protect me personally while I was on the ground were now dead because we decided to throw it all away at a woman's notice. And for those of you out there, you know, there's a lot of talk about it's the best we could have done and nothing better could have been done. I was a part of the plan that was supposed to happen, okay? I know what the original plan was. And I can tell you, it would have been handled much better, okay? I'm thinking about doing a video where I just, without getting into sensitivities or classified, outing all of that, what should have happened, because I think the public needs to know about how much of a fuck up this administration actually was. Okay, that's the reality of it. With that, I've had buddies and teammates that have died because of this war, right? We all have. And for what? Just so we could piss it all away for no reason? That weighs heavily on most Special Forces operators, those of us who went and fought, right? So all of these things are compounding effects, right? So not only that, that gets into we talked about retention, right? guys are burned out. Okay, we've been going nonstop for, again, decade for a lot of us, and everyone I know is completely burned out. Now, while we were going to war, guys sort of accepted that burnout because they loved the job so much, right? So even though there was burnout, you at least had something awesome to look forward to. That side of things is gone, right? So now it's just burnout. And that has a tough mental health effect to it. So that's another one, mental health, right? Obviously, warfighters have mental health issues, me included, right? I've done years of therapy for PTSD and combat trauma and all sorts of different things. And most guys have it. Pretty much everybody has it. And then you compound things with like the botched withdrawal with Afghanistan, guys not being able to get the help they actually need, and it's compounding. We have a huge mental health crisis. Suicide's a huge prevalent thing. People very close to me, teammates that have gone down that road, and that weighs on us heavily as well, right? So mental health is not great. Retention's not great. There's no purpose there really anymore. It's one of those things that things have just slid downhill so fast since, I want to say, really the withdrawal of Afghanistan, right? That was sort of the moment where this is all sort of spiraled downhill, right? We know that we have an administration in charge that doesn't give a shit about the military. They actually hate the soldiers. They hate the war fighters. And the community does, the left, obviously. I don't care about your policies, but the left hates the military and they hate soldiers, and especially special operators. If you look at my Instagram page, every one of my pictures that's just me as a Green Beret is blocked from content. And they tell me, this picture is against community guidelines. Picture of a Green Beret, right? That's the society and the administration that are in charge. So as a special forces operator, why do I want to go out and even fight for you in this country, in this administration, right? So there's all of those things, again, compounding, right? Talk about mental health. The pay is not sustainable to live off of anymore. Okay, the reality is, as a special forces soldier with all of our bonus pays, right, we actually made a pretty decent living 5 years ago. Okay, when I was living in Okinawa, my wife couldn't work, single family income, we were doing okay, right, because I made enough money. Fast forward now with inflation and grocery prices 200 to 300% higher than they were. Gas prices have doubled. Prices of cars have doubled, right? And the pay has increased 4% maybe in that time frame. I don't know, and we make way more money than regular soldiers do in the military, right? So I don't know how anybody is surviving. Upwards of to an E6 in the military qualifies for food stamps. That's a senior leader in the military that qualifies for food stamps. Okay? So then you look at how much money guys can make on the outside, and it becomes a very easy decision of what the hell are we still doing in the regiment, right? It's time to go. The pay's not there. The purpose of the war fighting is not there, right? We're filling it with a bunch of leftist woke ideology nobody wants, okay? Again, you can see all these things are compounding, and we're losing guys. We're losing good guys. We're losing good dudes out of the regiment who are just done with it. They're sick of it, and we're not replacing them with anybody. Because I can tell you, no knock on this young generation, right? This next generation, but they're just not warfighters as a whole. They're just not up to snuff, right? They're the safety coddled generation, and they're just not, there's a few, don't get me wrong. We have some studs that are still coming through the Q course here and there, but overwhelmingly, it's not good. We're not filling back up what we're getting rid of. And that's gonna be a problem because this is America and we do go to war. There will be another war, right? Our enemies are getting stronger as we are getting weaker. Everybody knows that. And what happens in 10 years from now when all of the GWAT warfighter generation is out and the next generation's got to fight? It's not going to be good, guys. That's the reality. America is very, very weak right now. Okay? It's sad to say. Yeah, so is there any good stuff still about the regiment, right? Yes, of course. So the brotherhood, which they're trying to get rid of that, of course, as well, right? You can't say that. But, the camaraderie, team life, being on a team, that's the one thing. I don't miss being in the military at all. Nothing about the military I miss other than being on a team, being with the guys, doing awesome stuff. That I miss, of course. And a lot of that is still there, right? So, again, the war's not there, but there's still some cool stuff. Now, also, man, becoming a Green Beret, the skill set that you achieve, all these things you'll learn, man, that'll never be replaceable, right? I would still suggest anyone who wants to become a Special Forces operator, try, because of that. Now, understand, the job's not as cool as it used to be. Until maybe the next war kicks off, right? But yeah, it's I'm hoping, right, a year from now we take the trash out and put someone back in charge that actually respects our military and respects our special operators, and we turn this around. Because right now, guys, it's really ugly for us in the military in general. Okay, so hope you guys enjoyed that. Sorry if that was more negative than you thought, but that's the truth. And you guys know I don't stray away from the truth. Tell things like it is. All right, take care, guys.